Thank you so much for inviting me here today. This is a great event, and I'm going to be speaking to you about simple timing tools to find the trend, trading the market cycles, and we're going to focus on the ETFs today. So here's the disclaimer. Please read this. It's important. Thank you. How to locate and trade end of trend trades using a simple tool, using the market map to determine where we are in the market cycle, getting out near the top when others are buying and getting in when others are selling. And where are the indices currently and the spider sector ETFs in the market cycle? So let's just start with this. This is the book that I wrote, The Trader's Pendulum. And I guess the introduction for myself is that I worked on Wall Street for 14 years trading Forex, and I'm trading stocks and options and futures, as well as some Forex for my own portfolio, and I manage the FX Traders Edge, and the Wavy Tunnel Pro is our program. So about the Trader's Pendulum, there are three pendulums that traders need to be aware of. The market pendulum, which is the market cycles, the trends and corrections. The emotional pendulum, which is how our emotions tie in with the market movements. And the financial pendulum, that traders and successful traders have losing days as well as winning days. We can't win all the time. And this is the market map that I want to just discuss with you. And of course, we see Warren Buffett on the left, who says, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. So what this means is he takes the contrarian view. And what this means is when we move up in the trend in the market cycle, this is called a 5-wave trend. This is and when the trend moves within the channel lines, that means that it's still going. But then we get to a point where we find point T, and the market has a significant correction. And when we have this correction, down here, market participants are very fearful, they're panicked, they're discouraged, they bail. Up here, market participants are greedy, they're optimistic and exuberant, and they tend to load up because they have FOMO, fear of missing out. So I'm going to show you this pattern in the SPY on the weekly and the daily chart and show you, I call this finding point C, how we found point C going back a few years until currently. And where we are in the market cycle right now, I'm going to show you, but we're not down here. We're more or less up here or in between. So let me show you what I mean by that. But with this market cycle, like we said, when we're up here, we want to be cautious. We don't want to be greedy. And when we're down here, we kind of want to be greedy. We want to dip our toes in down here. So it's a whole mindset change. It really is. It's training the brain to not panic down here, and it's training the brain to not have FOMO up here. So let's take a look at the weekly chart from October 2022, where we had a major market low, and then the daily, and show you October 2023 when we had a market low, and then last week on the hourly. Because when we are finding a bottom over here, it doesn't, on the weekly chart, it doesn't happen very often. So let's show you how this translates into what you're going to see on the charts next. This is the Wavy Tunnel Pro setup, and this is the end of wave C. And this is where we are in many of the ETFs right now, but I'm going to show you. So now getting back to the weekly SP, the SPY, let's call it Finding C, from October 2022. This is our indicator suite on the charts, and this told us that we were at a market bottom right here. So looking at the 8-wave market cycle, we have point C. I can tell you that the purple arrow is the market top. The gray arrow is the potential market bottom, okay? And the way we label that is as a complex correction. So you might know corrections as ABCs, that's fine. This is a complex correction. We can call it, W, X, Y, X, Z. And when we were at this point, we did get a buy signal. So the gray arrow did move from here to here. Let's be candid about that. It did. Okay, but then once we had our triple correction here, this was it. This was the bottom. And this is point C of the market cycle. So in fact, when I was looking at using our scanner, I was using the TradeStation scanner. I'm going to show you 4 scanners today, but I was using the TradeStation scanner to find stocks, and a lot of the weekly charts were showing this pattern, and we're saying, I've reached a bottom, buy me, buy me, buy me. I remember looking at the whole list and saying, I don't even know which stocks to buy. There are just so many. So I had to then figure out which stocks to focus on because there were just so many. This pattern was very similar among lots of different sectors and stocks. So that was in October of 2022. Now the weekly chart, this is the weekly chart. So we moved up, and then we had a significant correction over here. And this is where the same pattern showed on the daily chart. So this is the daily chart, and it's the exact same pattern. And this is the first time that the gray arrow appeared, right over here, the gray triangle, saying this is a potential bottom, buy me, buy me, buy me. This was the purple arrow, and it turned to gray once we made a new high. But this was the daily chart showing this exact same pattern. The markets are fractal. That means that the patterns repeat themselves on the different time frames. So this occurred in October 2023. And again, when I ran the scan on the S&P 500 stocks, I had a lot of dailies saying, buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me. Now, I'm not seeing a whole lot of weeklies or dailies. We have to go down to the smaller time frames to find this pattern. So, and this is how you label it, the complex correction. This is the hourly chart that I took a screenshot from last week, and this is the same pattern. It's on a different platform, so it looks a little bit different. So this is the same pattern where we have the purple arrow and the gray arrow. This is the SPY. And this was last week. It doesn't cover today. We'll get to today. Okay, so I just wanted to explain this pattern to you because I think it's an important pattern to watch. And today we had a significant sell-off. So I'll show you that in a moment. Not significant. We had a sell-off today in all of the sectors except for one, actually. And I'm wondering, okay, what kind of a correction is this? Are we now starting the process for this kind of a move? And I'm going to show you that we are in some of the ETFs and we're not in some of the other ETFs. And I'm going to show you this with ETF and stock examples. So this is a website that I like to look at, sectorspiders.com/sector tracker. You can write it down. This is the year-to-date returns. I took this 2 days ago, and I decided not to update it today because I spent a lot of time 2 days ago taking screenshots of all of this, and I decided not to update it. They are marginally different because today was a sell-off day, as I explained to you. So as of 2 days ago, let me just see as of 2 days ago, the S&P was up 9.11%. Right now, it's registering, even with the sell-off today, 9.23%. So just so you know, it's pretty much in line. The highest performing year to date is energy. But what's interesting is this was a laggard. and this caught up. And on my scanner, I was doing the trade station scan about a month ago, and I said, there are two laggards that are showing up, one in energy and one in utilities. And I'm going to show you those in just a minute. So a month ago, this is what the returns were showing. Energy went from up 3.59% year to date. This is year to date. And it jumped to 16.97%. Now it's up about 16.28% after today, so it sold off a little bit. So this was very interesting. Now you might say, okay, if you look at this, you have to say, well, how do I know that this laggard is going to catch up? Well, you really don't. You just have to. That's why I look at the patterns and I think about what's going on in the world, and I try to put together a case for energy, and I watch to see if energy is starting to improve. If you look at all of the other sectors, so this is year to date versus last month, the worst performing is real estate, and that continues to be the worst performing today. And after energy comes communications services, followed by financials. Okay, so we're going to delve into this a little bit more. But these are all of the different sectors that comprise the S&P. What I want to just show you the live charts first before I go into this. But well, let's just, what I did was I organized my presentation by the highest return. So we already mentioned that energy was the highest return. And also on the Sector Spiders website, you can click on the drop down here. I'll show it to you right now so you can see what I'm talking about. If I go year to date and if I click on energy, this tells me what, and I'm going to sort by index weight. So I want the highest index weight. So what I'm going to show you is the top index weight stock of the sector. Now, if you look at the percent change, this is energy, the percent change is since the beginning of the year. And this is the change in dollars. Okay, so we had some significant moves. For example, the biggest winner was Marathon Petroleum Corp, up 43% for the year so far. So let's just go back, and it's right here, okay? And let me show you I want to show you, let's just do a little bit of review. We're going to look at the SPY, the Qs, the Dow, and the Russell across the top. And I just want to show you a little bit about these indicators and how they work and how I read them. So if you look at the SPY, think back about the 8-wave market cycle. Well, we're above the wave here. We're above the wave, so technically we're still in an uptrend. Same with the Qs, even though we've flattened out and we've had significant sideways price action here. So we made a new high, we retraced, we made a new high, we retraced, we tried again, we failed, like very, very sideways. But if we look at the Dow, we've already broken down through this supporting wave. We've broken down, and today we're down here. Okay, we've broken down. Same with the Russell. So when I see this sets off an alert in my brain, which says, okay, it's possible, and I'm not saying that it's a done deal or anything, it's possible that we are going to correct further. Right? As soon as we break down below the filter, which is this green moving average, I think we're going into the wave. And when we close below the wave, I'm thinking it's possible that we trade down. This is the daily chart. So are we going to hit the tunnel? Because from what I've taught you so far, when we move down to the tunnel, this yellow shaded part, that is our setup for the end of wave C. Okay, that's the setup for the end of wave C on this daily chart. Are we going to go there? I don't know. Will we go there on the 4-hour chart? Maybe we're there right now. I just have the daily up right now. So let's now look at the ETFs, starting with energy, which has performed the best year to date. I've done this in order of performance. So notice how stretched price is. We're above the filter. So we had very little, we didn't have any correction today. In fact, energy is still looking quite good. And if I click on today's price action, energy was the only ETF that was positive, up 0.31%. And you can see that right here. We have a green candle. So this is still a very strong market. Communication services, still very strong market. We're above the wave. The next one is XLF financials. Okay, we've corrected into the wave. Are we going to hold this? If we hold this, then fine. Then this is the end of the correction and up we go. If we break below, then it's possible we're going to see a bigger correction. The next one is XLI Industrials. Again, we sold off, but we're closing at we sold off into the wave, but we're closing up. This is down 0.85% on the day, industrials. If we go to the next page, materials, this sold off 1.56 today. So it broke down below the filter, and the next supporting point is into the wave. It's into the wave. Like, this is how I look at things. And then the next one is XLK technology. This looks very similar to the Qs, very sideways price action. Still in the wave, we haven't broken down. And now look at this. This is healthcare, XLV. So healthcare has broken down below the wave significantly. Are we going to go down into the tunnel? Maybe. But if we do go down to this level, then we are going to find a lot of maybe healthcare stocks on the scanner for potential buys with this setup. The next one is XLP, consumer staples, also trending lower. We had some strong red candles moving down below the wave, and now we're into the gap between the wave and the tunnel. So it's closing high, at the day's highs, so we don't know if it's going to continue on down. Consumer staples was only down 0.36% today, but we're in this gap here, so causes us to wonder. Now, this is XLU utilities. So utilities, this is interesting because notice how for these four on top, price is clearly in an uptrend. And okay, these last two, yeah, we're having a correction. Okay, but for utilities, the wave just crossed above the tunnel. This is called the tunnel, just crossed above it. So we were in a significant downtrend until this point, and we just peeked our heads above, and now we're starting to show some signs of life. The next one is XLY, consumer discretionary. Bullish, but again, we're falling into this gap area, so we could see some further losses. And then real estate is the worst performing sector of the group, and yeah, and you can tell, like you can see that we're below the tunnel here. Okay, so that's just not holding up. And of course, today's CPI numbers were stronger, so the real estate market is going to be affected by that because it's all, interest rates and mortgage rates, and what are they going to do? And as long as mortgage rates don't come down, what are home buyers going to do? They're going to be stuck to pay high interest rates. So it's not good for the real estate market. And this is the SPY. So I just wanted to show you that to just give you some kind of impression on how we can just look at the markets using the basic Elliott wave setup, the wave in the tunnel, to make a call as to where we think we are going. So back to energy. Now I'm taking you on NinjaTrader. So we saw XLE energy. This is the weekly and this is the daily. And we saw how perky it is, and it's perky here, but this is from 2 days ago. Our signals gave a buy down here. This was the beginning of the year. So initially energy sold off and then came back again. And this is where we triggered a buy. Our system triggered a buy on our scanner. And this is the daily. And this is where our system triggered a buy over here. This is XOM, Exxon Mobil. Same thing. This is the beginning of the year. So energy sold off initially and then came back with a vengeance. Look at this. And this is where our system signaled the buy, and over here as well. These are automatic trend line breaks, by the way, automatic trend line breaks. That's what they are. XLC Communication Services, so we're going to look at Meta. That's the highest index weight of the group. And let's just have a look down to see which one performed the best so far this year. And it is Meta, up 49% for the year so far. XLC Communication Services, we already saw this, and this is our wavy tunnel setup. So this is the beginning of the year. Since the beginning of the year, this was off to the races. We had some strong candles. We traded sideways and then moved up again. And here is Meta. So this is where we were at the beginning of the year, and this is where we are currently. And this is the daily. Okay, the daily chart. So we did flatten out. We did trade into the wave. Every time we trade into this wave, this is our support area. That's what I was explaining. It's not until we go below it that we should be concerned that we may have a bigger correction. XLF financials. Berkshire Hathaway has the biggest index weight. Let's look to see which one performed the strongest. And it happened to be the last one on this list, PGR Progressive Corp, up 32.47%. So I think I'm showing you this to give you a way to see, okay, because there's so many stocks in the universe. This is not my scanner. This is what I do for analysis, and then I'm going to show you the scanner because, of course, the scanner is really important to see what we should focus on. But this is a good way to look at the sectors and see how they're performing vis-a-vis one another, and then look at which stock comprises sectors and how they're doing for the year so far. So XLF we looked at, and this is Berkshire Hathaway since the beginning of the year. Strong start to the year, and now it's trading sideways. Okay, this is the weekly, daily. This is the daily. We're trading down into the wave today. XLI Industrials, we're going to have a look at Caterpillar, up 28% for the year. GE Aerospace, up 51.90% for the year. Okay, and there are a few down stocks as well. So this is an index, an ETF. So that's why I like to look at the stocks that are performing well within the industrial sector. Industrials, let me just put the year to dates on my other. Okay, it's up 9.8% per year, okay, as of today. So when I took it 2 days ago, it was up 10.25%. So we've come down a bit on this. And looking at Caterpillar, it looks very much like the sector itself, performing very, very well. We initially went down 2 days into the new year, and then we've gone moved steadily higher. XLB Materials, XLB is up 8.79% year to date, and let's see which stocks have performed really, really well here. Martin Marietta Materials up 24%, but we're going to take a look at the one with the highest index weight, which is LIN. Okay, this is materials and this is LIN. So we sold off initially where? Right into the wave and then bounced right off. So this is where we train our brain. If we're in an uptrend, and my definition of an uptrend is when the wave is above the tunnel. So the medium-term moving averages are above the longer-term moving averages. These are all Fibonacci moving averages, and then we're still bullish. Even if we sell off into the wave, we're still bullish. It's only when we go below this area that we can be concerned that maybe we will have a bigger correction. XLK, technology, we're going to take a look at Microsoft, but NVIDIA up 77% for the year. Okay, Microsoft up 13% for the year. So this is technology, we looked at that, and this is Microsoft. So again, we're trading sideways. We're trading sideways for Microsoft. I'm looking at the daily on the right. But we have no reason to be concerned here. And then healthcare. Healthcare is up 5% for the year, okay? Eli Lilly has the highest index weight. And let's see if any of the other stocks outperformed. No. This is the top performer and the highest index weight. So let's have a look. This is the way healthcare looked. It went up. It went up off the bat in the new year, and now we are selling off. We're below the daily, so below the wave on the daily. So this is a corrective pattern. Okay, we're looking at a C wave now. And let's see if we actually move down into the tunnel. Because if we do, like I said, we're going to see some buying opportunities that show up on the scanner. So this is Eli Lilly, and the Eli Lilly is nicely bouncing off the wave. Okay, we're trading sideways into the wave. I mean, we're trading sideways. We're flat right now. It made a nice strong move initially, and now we're just trading sideways. We're correcting. We can correct in a sideways fashion, or we can correct by having a significant ABC correction move down. Consumer staples, XLP, up 3.19% as of 2 days ago, and now it's up 3.17%, so no change. Procter & Gamble has the biggest index weight, and Target performed the best of this list, up 20% for the year so far. So we are having a nice significant sell-off in consumer staples. Whenever you see these strong red candles, that's a warning sign. First we went below the filter, and then we went into the wave, but we kind of didn't stop there. We're trading below the wave. We triggered all of these sells from our trend line breaks on the dailies. That's why you see the arrows and the different trend lines. Looking at Procter & Gamble, it's following the same pattern. So Procter & Gamble, it's interesting because we are at the tunnel. This will not show up on our scanner on the daily, because I know what goes into it. It might show up on the 4-hour. Right, I don't know, but this is one that we have to watch. XLU Utilities, and oh, okay, Constellation Energy up 65% for the year. Okay, but we're going to look at NEE because it has the biggest index weight. let's see what the utility. So I was saying that with the utilities have been bearish pretty well all year. This is the beginning of the year. The wave is below the tunnel. Price action is below the tunnel. We just started to go above the tunnel on the weekly, and on the daily, the wave is just starting to cross the tunnel. So it's showing some signs of life here. And NEE, the same. Okay, the same pattern, same exact pattern, showing some signs of life. XLY, consumer discretionary, and yeah, look at Tesla pulling it down. Amazon up 21.8% with the biggest weighting. Let's look at consumer discretionary. It's up 1.44% as of today. And yeah, we're trading pretty sideways. We're still holding. We're trading sideways. Okay, the wave has completely flattened out to the tunnel. Amazon is looking very strong on the weekly, so we haven't even come back to, we haven't even come back to the wave here. On the daily, we are seeing some flattening out, okay? Some flattening out. So as long as we stay above this level, above these lows and above this wave, then that's positive. My alarm bells go up when we break down below. And finally, real estate. Now let's just have a look. Yeah, okay, there are some that have done well, but we're going to look at PLD. So real estate, it looks similar to utilities, where price action is below the wave is below the tunnel, and not a great looking bullish picture, just not great. And if we look at PLD, okay, so PLD is interesting because right now, this will be showing a buy on our scanner on the daily for PLD. We have reached the point where we have the gray, and it looks like if I ran the scanner, this would show up. So this is a watch. I mean, with the sector doing so poorly and with interest rates in the balance, how many cuts are we going to have this year? Are we going to have any cuts this year? Real estate is going to underperform. So this is definitely a watch. Okay, let's look at the scanner. And let me just show you, I was focusing on where we are in the market cycle, and I was trying to explain this. And when we break below this wave, which is the 34 EMAs on the high, low, and close, then we move down into this area, and that's where we have the significant correction. And this is what we call the breakout 4 trade, or the wave 4 trade preceding the next move up for the wave 5. Okay, so that's what we call it down here. We also have, there are 6 wavy tunnel setups that can be found on our scanner. This is one of them, where we come into the wave and then we break below the wave and move into this gap. So this is called the price to wave, fill the gap, PW, fill the gap. And then the breakout 1 occurs down here. The breakout 3s are bullish trades off of the wave. Plus we have automatic trend line breaks. So what we've done is we've organized all of these trades according to where we are in the market cycle. And it's great when you have a scanner, because then you can get alerted when there is a setup. So I'm not going to take you through all of the scanners per se, but I do want to show you Trade Station, the trade that popped up on the weekly. We were talking about it. XEXC on utilities. So this is where it popped up as a buy. You see the green arrow, you see the gray dot, and this is where it popped up. And you get your profit targets as well. And this is where we are as of yesterday. Okay, so the market did move up nicely. This is the weekly. It moved up nicely. You can see this on the daily, and you can see this on the hourly chart. So this was one of the laggards that popped up on the TradeStation scanner. A second laggard that popped up was CVX energy. We looked at that, and we mentioned that energy went from 7th when I took it a month ago to 1st out of the 11 sectors. So this is a laggard that showed potential, came up on our scanner, and then you can see how far it's gone since it came up on the scanner. Okay, and it just completely did a market reversal. Not so easy to take the trade when energy is underperforming, so you really have to really have to think about the fundamentals as well, and have some triggers. And our trigger is a 1, 2, 3 reversal on a smaller time frame. I'm just looking at the time here. Okay, Ninja Trader. Ninja Trader, this, I ran the scanner on Ninja Trader on all the futures markets on the daily, and I remember giving a presentation and showing this and saying gold, this is gold, saying, oh my, gold is, this is the ABC correction down here, and I remember giving this presentation and saying, this is the buy for gold. This looks like it's the bottom. We didn't have the buy over here or over here or over here or over here. This showed up only over here on our scanner. And then we know what happened. This I took a couple weeks ago, and of course we're through the ozone now in gold. We're off this chart anyway. But that was a great setup. Great setup on the scanner. This is on Ninja Trader, and Ninja Trader is our most recent scanner that we've set up, and it's great for really, you can set it up for stocks, futures, forex, whatever you use Ninja Trader for. And then there's MT4. MT4, you can get a lot of different forex symbols on it. You can also get the CFDs. This looks a little bit different, but if you're trading on an MT4 platform, then you definitely want to try out our scanner. So let me show you, let me summarize for you the 4 wavy tunnel platforms with the suite. The indicator suite and the scanners are MetaTrader 4 if you're trading Forex, TradeStation, MotiveWave. I didn't talk about MotiveWave, but we have a wonderful scanner on MotiveWave. MotiveWave is an Elliott wave counting software, and Ninja Trader. Okay, so these 4. What you get, I'm offering a $49 1-month trial, and you will go to wavytunnelpro.com/elite. Okay, that's the URL. If it's typed in the box, that would be great. wavytunnelpro.com/elite, and I am providing groundbreaking education with that. So great videos to explain all of the Wavy Tunnel Pro setups. You will get to use our proprietary combination of cycle high and low indicators with momentum indicators to warn of market tops and bottoms. You'll get to trade the market cycles and be alerted to the changes in the market cycles. It works for stocks, futures, ETFs, Forex, and cryptocurrencies. It works for day swing and position trading. You can find precise entry points for option strategies, and you will embrace this suite of professional tools to trade like a pro. If you have any questions, I don't have time to answer questions now, please email me at jody@fxtradersedge.com or at support@fxtradersedge.com. Be happy to help you, and I look forward to seeing you and trying out our tools and joining our Discord channel and being a part of the Wavy Tunnel Pro community. So thank you very much.